I think the whole thing is just so overwhelming. Like, I'm overwhelmed every single day. Like, get a new comment. Some guy is just making me so happy by telling me how well my vocals are mixed. Or
Josh Revel does an amazing Gunther Steiner impression. I don't know if you've heard it.
can he come on my song?
Oh, mate.
I'll ask him.
That's actually such a shout. I love that.
Shit, you should do a feature on one of my songs.
That's actually a sick idea.
Hey man, just let me know if you want me to come and play it live for your wedding. Like, honestly, I'm gonna come.
That would be like, we're gonna make
for
that
free.
happen.
Honestly, that would be an honor.
So today we've got a man that you've probably heard, but you've probably never seen. This is going to be a face reveal for a lot of you, unless you follow him on Instagram, of course. This has been by far and away the most requested guest ever. I told him before we started, he didn't believe me, but I swear to you, and I'm sure a lot of you watching will advocate that because you've been the ones telling me to deliver, and I have delivered. Well, you know it is. You've seen the title. Welcome, SIM DANE. How the devil are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. It's so good to be here, man. Thanks for asking me to be on here.
Of course,
man. I'm just happy to show my face.
Yeah, listen, man. But that's what I mean. Face reveal, and also, how do you like? What do you go by? SIM DANE? What's your name?
You could just
that you want to put in the world.
Emil.
Emil. Cool. Emil. Welcome, Emil. And well, obviously, got to ask straight away. What's the story of SIM DANE? Where does the name come from?
So I started as Sim Shady, actually, because I was like,
why did you change that? That's such a sick.
And it was like I started the channel actually before the current channel. I started as Sim Shady, and I was like, I'm doing reps as Formula One, so sort of Sim and Shady would fit. But then after like 2 uploads, my channel got taken down. Because I responded to too many comments too quickly.
Really?
So it got taken down. Yeah, on spam accusations. And then I was like, oh man. And I asked my parents, because they're lawyers. Yeah. And they were like, yeah, you can't call yourself Sim Shady. They'll come at you with some copyright claim in the future.
Man, that's crazy. Like, that's I didn't even know that was a thing. Because I remember when I started my channel, and I was like, I'd always suggest to people, reply to every single comment. But
exactly,
maybe with a word of caution there.
Yeah, man.
That's great. So you're well, I suppose let's get right into it, because of course, like, again, whenever someone asks me about starting a YouTube channel or whatever, I always say, like, have a point of difference. Try and do something that no one else is doing. And I think your stuff is the best example. It's a niche within a niche. You've got Formula One, which is a niche in itself, and then you've got. It's just, mate, you've absolutely smashed it. Like, you're gonna fly past me. You're like 86 Cal, and about 89, but the momentum you've got, because every single video back, it's like, the story's incredible. I just want to hear, basically, and I'm sure everyone listening wants to hear, just, I guess, kind of, where did it start? Like, what was your inspiration in the first place for doing something so different?
That was actually it was just a coincidence, honestly. I was in a Facebook group called, Troll. What's it called? Trollmula One. Probably some guys know it.
Yeah,
and there was this guy.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
There was this guy who posted a picture of like Kubica. It's like the picture of Toto in the jacket, where he looks like Darth Toto, but it's like Kubica in a really gangster jacket. And then he made it into an album cover. And that was like the most liked post ever in that group. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna capitalize on this. So so I took the first song title, and I was like, yeah, I'm a rapper already, so why not just spit some Kubica verses? And then I dropped the video, and all of a sudden it was just like 15K views. And that's when my channel got taken down. And then I was like, afterwards, I was like, yeah, man, this has something, so I'm gonna start it again. Because I mean, I could have just quit after the channel got taken down. But I thought it was also pretty fun, to just be rapping, because I like rapping, and then about something I know so much about, Formula One. So it was kind of just coincidence. If this meme had never popped up, I would have never gotten the idea.
Well, you can see how, like, heavily influenced by, like, F1 meme culture you are in your stuff. It's like, it's kind of, because, and I feel like this is the case with a lot of people. It's like, I had heard your songs before I'd heard of you. If you know what I mean. Like, I'd seen your stuff mentioned, and I'd seen clips on Twitter using, like, Daddy's Cash or whatever. and like, but I didn't, and I didn't attach it. And then when I actually discovered your channel finally, I was like, oh rah, this is the guy who's just doing all of this at the minute. And again, like the fact that it's so different and it stands out is just like, but it was just purely coincidence. I think that's the case with a lot of people. Like it can be complete coincidence out of nowhere. But that first video on your current channel was it December 2018? You put that out. Like when you first put that live, how did people respond to it?
I mean, people responded way better than I thought. I was like completely overwhelmed. That's also why I, in the first place, responded to so many comments, because there were just so many laughs, and I just couldn't help it. And yeah, man, I was so surprised, you know, because honestly, before and still, I do music, and I've never ever had that kind of response on anything I've dropped.
Yeah.
So like suddenly 15,000 people just watching the video was just incredible. From there, I was just like, man, this is both fun and rewarding. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going.
Oh mate, yeah, like people love it. And again, like that's testament that you're still very much in a big growth phase, and there's a load of people out there, but your just name has popped up time and time again. Just people are just loving your shit, man.
Because you know, I see it like from the owner perspective. You know, I'm not really scrolling through Twitter and then finding my own videos, you know. So like, that's also a surprise to me that you just have videos with my songs in them everywhere.
It pops up everywhere,
crazy.
man. Well, look, I mean, we've got to talk. Well, should I ask this now? What's your favourite song that you've made? Your favourite F1
Of my
song?
own?
You have your own. What's your
Oh,
personal favourite?
I have had that question quite a few times, and it kind of varies, you know, because like honestly, the one that sort of did it, like the whole thing for me, was Bohemian Rhapsody, the first Rhapsody parody I did, and like that song is just probably the most meaningful to me.
Yeah.
Because that was like the breaking point. I hadn't dropped the video for like 2 months, and then suddenly I dropped that one, and it was like my channel just blew up completely.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of love for that song, and yeah, I don't know, man, because I think it's such a tough question, honestly.
It is. It must be difficult.
And like I see it from a musician's perspective, so like probably
Yeah,
the
of
one
course.
where there's the best vocal mix, or I don't know,
Yeah.
the best singing, whatever. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not really looking into the video when I decide which song is my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Like
That's a tough question, man.
you've got a different. You're going to have a completely different. Not only have you created it, but you actually know your shit about music. So you're coming in
Thanks,
from
man.
a different level as like someone like me. I got a Scooby, but I know what I enjoy. I mean, for me, Daddy's Cash is just that song
Oh man,
is so sick.
yeah.
Like,
Like to be honest, that's probably the biggest banger, actually. Honestly,
mate, I could picture that in the club, man, just going off. That would be one day, it's gonna happen. You know, it's gonna happen. It's gonna have to. It's like KSO with all his music now, and he's blown up. Like one day, Daddy's Cash in a club in Monaco.
Daddy's Cash in the
Imagine.
club, bro. That would be sick.
Especially if Lance has got
Oh,
a
man.
box, which he could afford, as we all know. So what's kind of what is your music background exactly? Because you say you're a musician, so you've done stuff before, and that clearly comes across in your stuff. You're not just some random throwing yourself
Thanks,
out there. Like,
man.
what is your music background?
So I suppose my original music background is actually classical piano, which I played from when I was 7,
Mhm.
and I played classical piano for many years. But then, like when I was in 9th grade or so, I started like getting really a lot into hip hop, and I wanted to be a rapper. So I started rapping in English, actually, even though it's not my first language. And
Yeah.
at the same time, I had this iPad, and I started just producing music because I had all the theory from classical music, and
Mhm.
it sort of became this weird mix between classical music and hip hop beats, which I would rap over. And of course,
Yeah.
it started out as just some kid rapping whack stuff over whack beats,
Mhm.
but I started getting more serious about it, and then I went to musical high school, and I've just been doing millions of music projects since, and I play in a band as well,
Mhm.
a soul band, and I also do my own personal productions under the name Ked, QED, and like yeah, man, I'm just really in love with producing music, man. It's like ever since I started playing the piano, it's like more than that. I've just wanted to not play like all the time other people's music, but just make my own version or play my own songs or compose stuff and write stuff and sing stuff, all that.
Why do you think that this project, if you want to call it that, the SIM DANE kind of project that you've got going on, why has that been? Because I know you mentioned like you've tried stuff in the past and it hasn't blown up anywhere near the level that this has. Why do you think SIM DANE has done so well and is continuing to just grow bigger and bigger and bigger?
I've actually thought a lot about this because in some way like the shit you joke about shouldn't be like bigger than the stuff you actually mean seriously, because it started out as a joke, a whole big meme, but now I actually mean it. But I think honestly it's because I don't take myself too seriously. I think it's all because of the humor, because I just don't care, man. I just do whatever.
You
go with the flow.
You rinse everyone equally, like no one's safe.
Exactly, and I just don't care, man. Like when I do these F1 songs, I just write lyrics and I never think about if they're too ruthless or whatever. I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna rap this. If it sounds good, it's good. Screw it. And I had to put the disclaimer in the beginning of my videos because I don't know, some people might get mad, but like honestly, it's just jokes. I think it's all because of the jokes. Just not taking yourself too seriously. That's really helped.
I definitely think it's all like F1 is a sport that has taken itself too seriously for like most of its life. Like the drivers weren't even allowed on social media until Bernie left, like, and that was only like 2016. You know what I mean? Like it's all of a sudden this.
It's crazy.
And I think that comes. Yeah, it's mad. It's like even independent like creators and all that. That's only really over the last kind of year or so, 2 years, started to be a thing, just because all of a sudden now people feel that they can kind of express themselves. But I mean, I reckon we'll be seeing a few more. Like obviously we've got you've got a lot of the other kind of meme like Dakar 44 and all that who do amazing stuff, man. But like there are going to be a lot more people who like inspire and maybe into music and inspired by you, man, which must be crazy because you are kind of a, for want of a better word, like a trailblazer in this niche almost, like because you're the first to properly do
Thanks,
it.
Man. Yeah, probably. I mean, I have seen some other F1 songs. You probably have too. Have you seen the Blue Flag song?
Yes,
it's fantastic, man. And I think it has like 1 million streams on Spotify. It's like that's a true banger. Yeah, man. And the Supermax, that's also a true banger.
Come on. You're right. It's like man, the same premise, isn't it? It's like not taking itself too seriously. It's just jumping on a joke. It's a bit of fun. And most people, like you say, did you upload your stuff to Spotify and all that as well?
Yeah, I started doing it. Like, but most of my songs are like covers, so it's pretty difficult to just use original instrumentals and upload to Spotify. They won't allow that. So in like most cases, I found like a slightly different instrumental and then uploaded it, and then you gotta pay like extra royalties to the original artist. But yeah, I do, because people actually go and listen to it. I have pretty many streams on Spotify, and it's surprisingly many.
Yeah. But that's the kind of
pretty stoked about that.
With a song, like with one of my videos, for example, someone will watch it, and then once they've watched it. But with yours, I mean, the amount of times I've streamed Daddy's Cash on YouTube, it's just, you know when you listen to a song a lot, and because I actually listen to all my music on YouTube. I don't use Spotify or anything, and when it's like your feed, and so say at a particular time I'm into a lot of Pendulum or whatever. The amount of times just I'll get a random Daddy's Cash. It's that one in particular, I've got to say. That's I love all your work, but that song is just like I'm potentially getting married next year, and I'm thinking of putting it on the playlist because honestly, that will pop on.
No way, bro.
Yeah, honestly,
that would be so sick.
Definitely, when it happens, it's definitely going on the playlist, man. Trust me.
Hey, man. Just let me know if you want me to come and play it live for your wedding. Like, honestly, I'm gonna come.
That would be like we're gonna make that
free.
Happen.
Honestly, that would be an honor.
Mate, no, I've got YouTube ad revenue now. It's fine, man. I'll pay you.
Like, bro, you
can live.
You can hang me up on this. I'm gonna do it. It's a promise.
We'll make it happen. Now get some of those Supreme money guns, paint them pink, and then
yes.
That was so sick,
Oh yeah, painted pink, man. I could.
Yeah.
You've seen those
Well,
big mascots where they have like huge heads. I should put on a stroll head and wrap it like that, like live.
Yeah.
That would
It'll be
sick.
Aston Martin by then, wouldn't it? Though that's the only thing. It
Oh,
might be
yeah.
green by then, but we'll have to
Sure.
wait and see. Either
Bro,
way,
that's
but
money
as- as-
color. It's cash color,
yeah.
honestly.
That's true, man. This is sick. I love this. This is a
That's
great
it.
idea.
That's why. That's why they brought Aston Martin in.
It's happening, man. Definitely. Well, as much as I think that song should be your most popular, what was the first? I know you said when you put your first one out, you got a lot of attention straight away. But was there a particular video that really you feel accelerated your growth more than any other?
Yeah,
if
man.
you know what I mean.
Definitely. You know, I had like my Kubica phase.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually the whole thing started with Kubica, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I owe a lot to
You
Kubica.
do, man.
I really do.
He's
man.
got the best fans as
He's
well,
like-
man. He's got the best fans in F1.
Bro, they're so funny, man. Like Kubica fans, they're both the best trolls and the best
They
fans,
are,
honestly.
they are.
But yeah, man, like Bohemian Rhapsody, because you know I had actually, it had been like a year since my first upload,
Yeah.
and then I just done like regular videos, like you know I do the race reviews with songs, and I used to do them originals where they weren't covers, where they were just my original compositions, raps, my beats, whatever. And you know they all had like steady 2,000 views. And then after a short break with vacation and work and whatever, I decided, yeah, man, I'm gonna do Bohemian Rhapsody, because I sung it in a choir once when I was in school. I sung it. So I knew all the voices. I was like, yeah, man, that's no problem. I can sing all the voices. So I just tried and did the Kubica version, and that shit blew up, man. That accelerated the channel from like, I think I had 900 subs.
Yeah.
And then like a week after it was 4,000 subs, and the week after it was 8,000 subs. Like it went crazy. And yeah, man. Then I started dropping more of these remixes where they weren't originals, all with the Kubica theme, and I kept doing that for like I don't know, 7-8 months, and you know it just kept growing pretty fast. And then I did the Vettel one. Have you seen some driver that I used to know?
Yeah.
And that one was like, that was phase 2,
Yeah.
that really also took the channel like a big step.
Yeah.
So those would be like the two, I don't know, major videos.
I keep going on about Daddy's Cash, but I was looking earlier, and the pinned comment you have on Daddy's Cash, and that's because I think your first video it's on about 35k, and then Daddy's Cash is on like 300-400 and something.
400. It's crazy.
And your pinned comment says, well, I've written it down, 100 subs special coming soon, and then that was like your next video, 100s, and like,
yeah, man.
bruv, now you're like you're I think you're what 100k, I reckon, by next month you should be on 100k. Do you reckon? Like the way it's growing at the minute, how does that feel? Like, you know what I mean? Like I suppose I've kind of going through a similar thing, but obviously with your stuff, it's mad how like part of the culture your stuff is. You know, I had to say it because you play on a lot of the meme culture that goes on Twitter and that. And why so many people just absolutely adore and really recommend your stuff. I don't know. It must feel pretty mad.
Yeah, man. Like I'd never expected it, and you know, like from that first video, you know, it's just banter, and then like now I you know I have a Discord and I I'm texting a lot of people on Instagram, and like I'm really in touch with a lot of the people who are following me.
Yeah.
And like it's become such a big part of my life, to be honest. Like not just the subs, you know, the sub count is crazy, but also like so many kind people. Like so many people are actually pretty deeply invested in like my videos, and they're like, yeah, they notice slight differences in my editing, slight differences everywhere, like in my mixing, whatever. It's just like, damn, these people are actually really invested in my content. And that just feels like it feels like a load on my shoulders, but at the same time it feels like whenever I drop something, I just feel so, you know, relieved, because I know so many people are going to be really looking forward and actually pushing. Like people are pushing these videos. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's like because I know you do premieres on most of your videos. Is that right? Because the last few I've
Actually, I started doing it on every one
Yeah.
because whenever I don't do a premiere, they're like, "Bro, where's the premiere?"
But that,
And then like there's gonna be a comment with like 1,000 likes, like the one time SIM DANE didn't do a premiere.
Yeah.
It's like people really
you can't now. That's the thing. The internet is like if you change anything, people just clock onto it straight away. It could be the smallest thing.
Yeah.
But you can't let that slide now, mate. You cannot let that slide. But what I find particularly like really impressive, and I think this is like obviously more recently down to why your growth's been so good, but you've been able to, the race will be on a Sunday afternoon, and then you've got it out by that evening, which, I mean, the turnaround is crazy. Like how, first of all, I'm interested to know just kind of what's the procedure that you go through? Do you already, like, before the race has started, have you prepared anything? Because obviously you create a song based on what's happened in the race, right? So you've only got so much time.
Yeah.
Like how does that process go?
Well, actually, I don't really prepare a lot, and I think I never actually prepared like a lot for these. I on my music software I have some presets,
Yeah.
sure, for vocal mixing and recording, and for also like mastering is when you like make the track louder, make everything fit together. I also have some presets there, just and plus like I mostly use already written songs, already mixed songs, so there isn't a lot to do there. So that gives me like more time to write lyrics. But honestly, man, when the race is finished, I'm like, what song am I doing? And I go from the room I'm in and I just sit outside and I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do? And then I just wait for it to pop, and then some song just comes up. And the worst time this was after the Italian Grand Prix, because I was like, man, this was such a good Grand Prix. What the hell can I do? How can I make anything up to par with that race? And I thought so long and so hard about this. I just didn't know. So I had to put on some music. I just scrolled through like I think 1,000 songs in my playlist.
Wow.
just to find the one, like, because it needed a lot of lyrics. I found Lucky You, and I was like, yeah, man, this is gonna be a challenge. And yeah, man, then I just I take the lyrics from whatever song, and that's probably the most, yeah, I don't know, I copy all the lyrics from one song and then I put it in my notes, and then I replace every single word just to make sure the syllables fit and like the rhyme scheme fits and whatever, that's like, because otherwise it would be so difficult, and plus, yeah, sure, man, I use mostly songs I know and like to know like how the artist originally did it, and then I'll not be too challenged when I record it, because I'll just have it by heart. But yeah, man, then the recording, man, like lyrics usually takes one and a half hours, maybe 2 hours, something like that, and then I start recording, and that takes probably an hour or two. And then the video editing, man, that's where I'm lazy, to be honest, because for videos like my recent one, I can really go and do some pretty good editing, and I just don't have time for that after the races. So during the race, I try to screenshot as many memes as possible,
nice,
like on Instagram, and I also do screenshots from the race because I can't use footage, so I'll just try to get away with using screenshots from FOM. But yeah, man, and then it's I am very busy when I make these videos. I just try to rush it so fast just into the video, and just like, no, man, it can't get past midnight, man. Honestly, it's pretty enjoyable because I remember like every single detail from the races. True. Like, because I write it down. I have like a lap chart, so I write down everything that happens on each lap, and I just sit. I can actually look at the screen while writing, and I'm like, declare us off, Vettel spinning. Oh man.
That's amazing. I'd love to. What I'd love to see one day is you do like a behind the scenes. Now that everyone's seeing your face, a behind the scenes of how you create one of these videos. Get someone to record you do, because I think that's fascinating, man. That's crazy.
Like man, that would be a good idea. I could just do a live stream.
Yeah.
Like SIM DANE writes a song
Literally.
after the race.
People
And
love
actually,
that.
I think that would be a good idea because the chat could also help me.
Mm.
I usually post a pic on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Like, if you have any detail I'll surely miss, write it here. And then people write whatever stuff. Like, there was actually this race. I don't remember which one it was. It was a recent one where Lewis Hamilton changed out a tire before the race start, because they're allowed to do that. If the tire has some unusual wear on it, they can have an equally worn tire from Pirelli. And I was just like, some guy posted it in my Instagram comments, and I couldn't find anything backing it anywhere. So it must have been something Crofty said. And then I was like, yeah, I'm going to go for it. He's probably right. So I made this whole Lewis tire joke, like his tire is actually gone, so he had to get a new one. And that was just such a key moment, because that was like the whole intro of the video and probably the most reacted on moment in the video. So all credits to that guy, man, because I found documentation afterwards that it had actually happened. He replaced that tire. But yeah, man. So the fans also help a bit with these details, and that's pretty important.
Yeah, I think like people like to be involved, right? Like your community, and again, because you're doing something so different, and not many people have the skill to produce what you can produce, but a lot of people have ideas and a lot of people have kind of perspective on it.
Man.
So you've and I mean the growth has been so meteoric, so quick. Are you looking forward in terms of ambitions for the channel, or are you just taking each race as it comes? What's the future of Sim Dane gonna look like, do you think?
Oh man, I think it's just gonna be so much day to day, because like I used to, from doing music so long and just really wanting to do it professionally. You can't plan anything, like in my opinion, probably not on YouTube. I think I could not plan to have this many subscribers ever in the past. So like, I'm just gonna do it day by day. I'm gonna keep doing the race reviews and just keep doing videos like I do, and then if I get a new idea, I'll probably try it out. But yeah, man, I can't really plan it. I'm afraid to plan it, because if I try planning it, something will go wrong, and I'll be like, no. And then I'll be bummed to miss out on some detail that I planned.
Yeah.
Plus, because a lot of people, I noticed, like many YouTubers, like they try to plan what they can do and what they do, and then they'll just get disappointed. And I'm like, I think the whole thing is just so overwhelming. Like, I'm overwhelmed every single day. Like, get a new comment, some guy is just making me so happy by telling me how well my vocals are mixed, or it's just like whatever, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna go with it. It's a roller coaster. I'm just gonna enjoy the ride.
There's been a few channels in F1. I feel like this year's actually been a really good year for F1 creators.
F1 YouTube, it's crazy, man.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad.
Like many channels, they're just blowing up. And actually, I gotta just shout out Daka44 real quick. Like for the Daddy's Cash. I think part of the growth is like I should show you the graph, like, cause he put the song in one of his videos. Like I think was it the Grosjean one? Yeah, I think the Grosjean one. He put my song in that video, and like I could see on the demographics and on like YouTube analytics, I could just see from that day, the curve started going from this to actually this, and like it just.
I was one of those people. Because I'm pretty sure that was I had heard some of yours, but still at that time when I heard that video, when I watched that video, I didn't know that was Sim Dane, if you know what I mean. So then from that, I then discovered your stuff. So I'm one of those people in that hot craft, mate.
Yeah, man. It was like so much. It was so crazy because it had like 10,000 views before. It had less than the one before it, and then it just went to above 100K. And just, damn, thanks, Daka.
Oh, mate, that's the thing. Because once you get that momentum, that's the thing. YouTube seems to be it's still very difficult to know exactly what you should and shouldn't do, but momentum's a big thing, and like riding the wave and that is. But so in terms of. So maybe you don't have goals, but is there anything that you would like to be able to do on your channel that maybe you don't have time to at the moment, or don't have the means to do? Is there anything more you'd like to do that you don't already, or are you very content with where it is at the moment?
So it's like I'm in between, honestly. Like I am pretty content with how it is because it's like far past my imagination. But I actually do have one ambition. Like there's one thing I just have to do someday. Like I want to gather a band. And like there's this music conservatory in Denmark, which is like a really, really, really nice place to play live music and record live music, and they have all the good gear. And like one day I want to dress up in F1 suits with my band, and then just do like a live performance of like a live YouTube or recorded and then concert, like just like 3-4 songs with a whole band, and like get a saxophone solo and just really spice up these meme tracks and actually make them into true art, you know? Like that's really one of my great ambitions. And just everyone's dressed in F1 suits, and that would be so sick, and like make a big video out of it.
And there's like a conductor at the front with the suit, but then they've got a helmet on, and they're
exactly. Or it could be Brian Tyler. I don't know.
Yeah.
The F1 composer. Yeah, man.
That's so sick, man. I love that, and I don't see why not, mate. Because the growth that you're going through at the moment, and you know, there's new races every week. I mean, what when I guess when the season finishes, I guess you won't be doing those kind of reactive videos, but there's still going to be so much. You know, I mean, I started my channel in the off season. There's still so much desire, if not more, when there's no F1, because people who are obsessed with it just crave it. And I don't know what.
Yeah, man.
Have you got any? Are there any maybe little? I don't know, because this will probably. Well, I don't know when I'll put this out actually, but have you got any little like little? What's the word I'm looking for? But BTS like not what? I can't think of the words. Think like surprise. No, not surprises. You know when like you sneak peek behind the scenes of like anything you're working on at the moment.
Oh yeah, man. I have many plans, man. I have like a whole list.
Yeah.
Like every time I get an idea, I actually have a paper calendar.
Oh, nice.
Always in my back pocket.
Nice.
And every time I get an idea, I'll write down the song.
Yeah.
I can tell you that the next like big video I'm doing, I could spoil that. That's gonna be Heartless. You know, the Kanye song.
Yeah.
But with Vettel singing.
Ah, nice. I like that.
So he's singing to Ferrari. How could you be so heartless? And you know, because I love, bro. I'm a big Kanye fan. I gotta admit.
Yeah.
Like I think he's a true artist. Like he really he experiments a lot. People, sometimes it sounds terrible. Sometimes it sounds great. And like I'm just looking so much forward to doing this like Seb Vettel with loads of autotune. And then I'm gonna try to see if I can find some clips of like Vettel speaking, and I'm gonna try to sync it. Just whatever, just make a whole big meme out of it, and like, cause you know it's actually, you know, the lyrics are gonna be harsh, you know, but at the same time the autotune makes it like a bit memey. So
yeah. That's what
I'm just
you do,
gonna
man.
go
like,
for it.
You're harsh on everyone, and that's like, you know, that's true equality. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's like either you're nice to everybody or you're harsh on everybody. I mean, I can't favor one driver. Honestly, I gotta give you creds as well, man. Honestly, you're really doing so fucking well. You've been a major inspiration to me, man. Like, honestly, like your whole editing, I've shown it to a few of my friends as well, back here who are not F1 fans, but like we've had ideas of like, I don't know, whatever video making we've been doing. I'm just like, check this guy out. Because your whole style, man, like when you started your channel, I actually want to know, you had the whole thing, like you really had the whole thing planned like before, right? Like you wanted it pink, you wanted the graphics to go like this and that. And because you know, it's also smooth and like it slides, like all the, everything, like all the animations, they slide in a certain way. And because you're like, but you work with graphic design as well, right?
So I did in the same way that you took a skill that you had in terms of music production and applied it to F1. I took my skill as like a graphic designer and applied that to kind of my stuff to kind of set it apart.
And bro, that really sets it apart.
Yeah.
Honestly, you could just tell like from any other channel, like even Autosport or even The Race, whatever, they don't have this. Like it's so clean.
No, thank you, man.
Props to you, man.
That's like I was saying, it's kind of taking it was just my way of kind of doing the commentary side of things that I do a bit differently, because your stuff is very different, but my stuff is still quite similar to some people that are creating, but just with my own spin and twist on it, I suppose. Although I was saying, I messaged you when you did your new banner. I love that. I love the vibe of that 90s vibe. Like, did you make that yourself? Is that something you came up with?
Yeah.
Or?
I did.
That's sick, man.
I did. I've always.
He's a designer as well. What can't this man do?
Nah, man. Like, that's just honestly, I haven't used any image editing tool. You wouldn't believe it. I use Mac's own picture. I don't know what's it even called. When you open a picture on your Finder and then it just opens in some.
Oh yeah. Just in. I don't even know what it would be called.
Picture shower app.
Yeah.
Like I mostly use that to edit images, and like all my thumbnails are made in that.
Yeah,
if I have to do a little bit more, I use GIMP. You know GIMP?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, I've just always been obsessed with this, or not always, but I've just recently been like struck with this. The whole synth wave.
Yeah.
Like the whole retro wave, all that 80s, the whole 80s vibe, man.
Well, I know because I know Jimmy Broadbent uses that in his stream. Intro, doesn't he? That kind of style.
Exactly. Exactly, with that car going towards the sunset, it's the whole thing, like it's all over. And I was like, yeah, man, I could do my take on that because it looks so clean.
It does.
Like, it does. And I think that's contemporary. It won't be there in a few years. So I was like, yeah, it looks clean now. I'm gonna use it. But yours, it's pink, bro, and I love pink. I gotta say. I have pink sunglasses and a few pink shirts, man. I should have worn the pink shirt.
I should have worn the pink shirt. Man. What's going on?
What have I done? No. Yo, should I go change into the picture?
It's fine. Don't worry. I'll just Photoshop it on. It's fine. I'll use my edit.
Oh yeah, you can do that. Yeah, I'll send you a picture and you just put it on.
Yeah, nice. I mean, with your stuff, obviously, this is going to be a face reveal for a lot of people. Do you foresee, going forward? Do you want you to be, because you've been able to grow a channel whilst being quite anonymous in yourself, and I know you post on Instagram and all that, but like, how do you feel about that side of things, the fame that comes with it?
Yeah, man, that's like I really try not to get too caught up in it. I really try to, I don't know, what could you say? I try to make it as much me as possible without like really getting lost in it. Because I like 100,000 people or close to 100,000 people, like
getting there, man.
87,000, man. That's like a lot of people following my channel. So like, sure, I don't want to like appear as like some celeb guy. I want to just be just as down to earth as I am on my personal Instagram, and like if I feel like it, I could do videos with my face in it, but like my current style is just like make fun of F1 drivers. And I think my voice anyway is like, that's a pretty big part of me, and that's in every video. Because and also like honestly, I'm trying to answer as many people like in comments and on Instagram as well. And I really felt it on Instagram. Holy crap, man! I have like over 1,000 DMs, I think.
Really?
And
wow.
I don't have the time to answer all of them, but I really try, man. And I'm working too, and so like whenever I just have a break, I just go on Instagram and try to see how many Instagram DMs I can respond to, because like it's all just positive comments. So it could only make me happy, just go read them and whatever. So I really try, and I try to scroll through all the comments on my videos. I can't like every single one of them, I can't heart every single one of them, but I can try to read them, and I really still try to do that.
Yeah, that's something I found really like difficult, because up until I hit 20k, I had replied to every single comment I'd ever received on the channel. I literally, on my YouTube studio, it was 0. But then you get to a point where you just can't keep up anymore, and it is a shame, because like and I'm sure like you say, how you're working and you're trying. Like, I was exactly the same when I was on the train in the way to work. I was replying when I was having a shit in the I was replying, like literally like, whenever you get a spare minute. But it's just impossible to keep up forever. But
exactly, man.
That's such a, I suppose, because we've both, there's some people on YouTube who've been big for a very, very long time, but I mean, where it's been so kind of almost like overnight for both of us in a lot of ways, like relative to the platform. it's still crazy, isn't it, man? To think that combined between us, almost 200,000 people subscribe to our stuff. That's just...
It's incredible, man. It's crazy, and but yeah, man. It's like I honestly I feel like ambivalent about it, like because the bigger you get, like the further you get from the fans.
Yeah.
Like honestly, because you can't respond to everybody,
No.
and I probably have like 100 people like I remember by name, like, and I text it like back and forth, and I would say I'm online friends with, you know.
Yeah.
And like, it's just getting so hard to keep up, you know, because when I had 1,000 subs, I had like 10 people that I was just texting back and forth, and I was like good friends with online. But like, what if I keep growing, you know? And it'll just be so overwhelming. It'll be so difficult to keep track of.
Yeah.
Especially when you know you have your personal life next to it, and
yeah, exactly, man.
you also want to be accessible, like as a person. You like you know you want people to feel comfortable about just texting you and just asking some question, and
that's part of the kind of appeal of what, like, I remember I saw one message on Twitter a while ago, and it really like stuck with me, and it was someone who was one of the OGs and used to comment on all the stuff and said it's such a shame that, like, it was along the lines of it's such a shame that Tomo can't respond to all the comments now. And I was like, yeah, man, it is a real shame. So I started doing Twitch, because then I've just got a few people on Twitch. I don't really push it out much, but it's always the same people, and it's just it's kind of like that again. It's almost like bringing that. Maybe Twitch is something you should. I don't know. Do you know, in terms of like live streaming, you creating something, or I don't know, that could be cool.
It's like, actually I started twitching a while ago, and I bought the whole setup. I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start twitching. I'm gonna make it real good. And I bought like a bit of hardware and like a lot of things, and I really prepared for it to stream when I was driving my sim.
Yep.
And then I just, you know, go in the sim and stream and talk to the people that were there. But then it turns out, like, and right now I'm on my phone's internet. I'm not on our Wi-Fi, because it's so bad. And like I figured out, like, the place where I live, they can't install proper Wi-Fi, so I'm just gonna have to live with like upload speeds of 0.1 megabytes per second. Like, it's incredible. Like, every time I upload a video, I do it from my phone or like with my phone's internet. Like, I share internet, and then I use my because yeah, man. So that wouldn't be possible, and I'm gonna move out soon. So I'm gonna find me some really good internet, and I'm gonna start streaming again.
Do it, man.
Because I really liked it. Like, I had a few streams, and like they were all equally successful.
Yeah.
Like, so nice, and people so like they're also pretty invested in like what you're doing. Like, I'm in a race, and you know, I just always like look to the chat, like try to focus on the track as well. But and then like someone's like, get in there, Simo, or do that overtake now, or save your curse. Don't do it. Don't use it now. Use it next lap. And like, and it works. It's crazy, and I love it. It feels like I'm racing, and they're my little engineers.
Yeah. That's decent,
and you know,
man.
I could just respond. You know, I don't have to sit and text. I could just answer like as I am.
Yeah. Just as you are.
So I think it's really chill. Really nice.
That's cool, man. It's something to look forward to, and I look forward to. Yeah. Well, you say about moving out, so let's get on to a few more like personal, because obviously you don't put like, you've got your Instagram and that, but in terms of your actual channel, it is purely focused on the content. Kind of, what is your situation at the minute? Like, are you working? How much time are you able to put towards your channel? Like, where's your life at the moment away from YouTube?
Well, I finished high school like a year and 5 months ago or something, and since then, you know, I've just been on a gap year. And like, I'm still on gap year because I don't know what I want to study, and I'm still figuring that out. But that means I'm working, and whenever I'm not working, you know, I'm just a young guy, you know. I see my friends, and when I'm not doing that, I'm doing music. Like, literally, that's it. Like, and music is also counts in SIM DANE, you know. It's almost like I spend more time doing SIM DANE than actually practicing the piano or composing other stuff, because, you know, it's like whenever I have spare time, because it's also really enjoyable. It's just become so enjoyable for me, like, because I mean, since it is humorous, and like, I'm just joking, you know. It's also almost always feel good. Like, I just sit down, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have some fun, I'm gonna write some jokes, I'm gonna remix an F1 car sound, I'm gonna make chords with Robert Kubica's and whatever, you know.
But that's what's
just like having fun.
It's really clear though that really comes across in your stuff as well, that you're clearly like, you're not forcing yourself to do it, like you do genuinely love it, and that really does come across in the content, even if
Thanks, man.
even if you don't like mean it to, it just ultimately it will. But so is that the kind of, is that, I know we talked about like end goals with the YouTube, but in terms of, do you see yourself, is music really, is that your number one? Is that what you'd like to do kind of going forward? Is that what you'd like to be your full-time gig? Because there's a lot you could do.
I mean, if I could choose, you know, if I really could choose, of course it would be music. Because I mean, I play music in many ways. Like, I love singing. I play the guitar. I play the piano. I know like how to produce, and I think that's really fulfilling. Like, you know, just being able to actually make like a whole nice listenable product with just nothing but an actual just MacBook, you know.
Yeah.
So sure, I'd love to do that, because that's my dream. That's been my dream for many years. But like, from a realistic point of view, you really got to be lucky. And like in the past, I don't know, 6 months, 5 months, whatever, I've kind of realized like, yeah, man, I'm gonna have to like find a more sustainable plan. And because SIM DANE, like, I would say this is almost pure luck. Like, you know, it came out of coincidence, and you know, it just blew up. Like, even it's just like a few videos just really blew up. I mean, sure, I created them, but you need a bit of luck. And like, if you want to be a musician, you really do need a bit of luck too. And like, even more so in the music industry. Sure, I try to talk to as many people as I can, and like, actually after our podcast, I'm gonna go out with my band, and we're gonna look at music studios to rent, and then we're gonna record, I don't know, an EP, whatever, in one of these. And you know, I really try to work for it, but I want to know that some other way of life could be a possibility if it didn't work out. But yeah, man, like, SIM DANE is starting to look a bit promising. I know you could probably not make a full time out of it, but either way, man, like, just as a supplement or whatever. Like, my mom, she's working at an office, and she plays the cello. What's it called? The violoncello. You know what I mean? And like, all her time she isn't working. She's playing it at a very high level, and like, that's her, like, that's where she finds her happiness. Yeah. Because like, music is where I find my happiness. But at the same time, I really don't want it to be like something I have to do, or something I have to struggle to do, you know? Because as soon as and it's like that with most things, like, as soon as it becomes every day, you could just get so bored and just get sick of it. And like I could imagine, like, if music became my everyday, and it was like only my music and only my voice and only my productions, I would get sick of my own voice. I'd get sick of my own productions. And I have been before. Like, I made an actual album before, like in 2018, when I was purely a rapper back then. And like, after working so many hours on that album, like, when it finally dropped, I couldn't listen to it. I could barely stand playing concerts. I was just like, man, this is so annoying. Because, you know, I was sole producer. Like, I was the only producer. I'd mixed and mastered everything myself, and like, I couldn't do it, man. Listening to it was like, man, this is almost cringeworthy. And then, like, the more I play with others, like, and my band it's the best thing, you know. Because the more you play with others, like, you get so much energy from other people and so many different ideas. So like, and you could probably hear that in like my SIM DANE songs. Like, I really try to not make it like purely me. And that's also why I like doing like other artists' songs. Like, it's not just some commercial idea. It's actually because I just love trying to interpret and like do my own take of some, I mean, Lady Gaga song, like just something wacky, just being ridiculous, and be like, can I sing Michael Jackson? No, but I can try.
But I think you as well, what's really important to distinguish there is that you talk about the album you did and you produced it all yourself and you can't listen to it back, but ultimately that's that's just part of the process. Surely that's part of the learning process. You can, like, if you hadn't have done that, if you just hadn't have bothered, even if it might feel looking back like it was a waste of time because you didn't like it, like ultimately, without that experience and what you learnt from there, and as I say, like playing with your mates and all that, and all those experiences, you wouldn't be where you are now.
Absolutely, and like that applies everywhere, in my opinion. Like you can't afford to regret anything.
No.
You don't know what else would have happened. And like, even like when I was I don't know, no, it's called boarding school. Yeah, when I was at boarding school, I freaking hated it. Like, it was the worst year, honestly, that I'd ever had. And I came home like each weekend just exhausted and tired and angry and sad. But then I started in high school, and it just turned out to be the best thing ever. And I think like, sure, it was a terrible year. If I could change it, I wouldn't, though, because I learned so much from it. Like, and anything, like, probably goes for you too. You had some bad years, you had some bad times, and it's true. It sounds so corny. It's like the corniest statement ever, but like, you shouldn't regret anything. Just go with it, man. You just learn so much.
It's like you can only get so much from books and so much from like the theory, but when you actually put your own time and life and practice into it, it's a very different story. But like you say about as well, like taking your passion and turning it into a career as such, which you have. I mean, obviously I don't know, like I'm not sure how like, for example, with just YouTube, for example, how like CPMs differ and all that kind of stuff. I feel like you could definitely make a run of Sim Dane as a full-time thing. I plan on doing the same with my channel, and there could be the thing is, mate, we're both young. You're younger than me, but it's like there's so many possibilities out there of what you can do, and I'm glad you've got that attitude towards it, because I think you need that willingness to try stuff and get shit wrong, to actually get to where you are now. And look, mate, you've got a incredibly successful YouTube channel. You've got this like real passion that you clearly, I don't know, it's interesting you talk about that, producing the album, and how it was like it drained out of you. I had a similar thing. This was years ago. This was back when I tried to start like a clothing line thing, and I spent loads of money and I spent loads of time, and I got bits made in like China, and I got it all sent over, and then I got some like heat presses and made everything myself, and then I had this finished product, and I was just like, this is fucking shit. I spent so much, I spent a good 1,500, $2,000 on like everything, and I was just like,
damn,
rah, this is shit, man. But do I regret it? No, because I learned why didn't I like it? Because all of that, like the process that you go through, and I think, it's an important part of it, and the fact that you've got to where you are so far already, man, like.
And like, I can see exactly where you've been. Like you make some product, and you put so much of your time into it, and like that's also like a theory of mine. Like, when you really get invested into something, you can get so blind from like everything else, because you're just so focused. You can like tunnel vision, and then you can only see the whole thing, and then when you're finished, you like start relaxing. you start like actually looking up again, and then you're like, man, how does this compare? And then it just damn, and you want to change it so bad, and it's too late, But I seen your other Instagram, or is it Instagram? Yeah, it's an Instagram, where you do the sneakers.
Yeah.
And they're sick. They're so sick. There's one sneaker I commented on. Like, if I could get that done, you should check if you can find my comment anywhere.
I will.
I'll just find the sneaker.
I will.
Like, if I could get that made somehow, that would be the shoe of my life, honestly.
That's see, because I did that. That was more that was something I wanted to do, and I was really bad at like starting stuff and not finishing it. And I was like, I really just want to upload every single day for a year on it, and I did do that.
Damn.
And then Instagram started to like fuck with my reach, and I was just like, okay, I'm doing YouTube now. I don't really have but I'm glad I did that, for like, because that I feel like the discipline that built in me just by doing something like that, and that can apply to anything. It's like, making your bed every morning when you get up, like just doing
exactly.
having discipline in yourself is very important.
True.
But
I feel like that after the race reviews, you know.
yeah.
I can really, because I mean, you sure are probably beating yourself up a bit with like the quality or like whatever in your videos. Like every Sunday, I know, Leah, man, I'm gonna feel like shit in the morning. Like, you know, I go to work, man. I gotta be there at 8, and I'm getting up, and I'm like, I'm a zombie for 4 hours. But then I'm like, I go and read some comments. I'm like, worth it, worth it.
And that's the thing. Like, no one. I guess it's not true now because you've got an audience now telling you to upload. Hurry up, Sim. Where are you?
Yeah.
But also, like, that's your thing. Like, you're self-motivated enough to do that, which a lot of people wouldn't be, because there's no boss telling you, right, you've got to upload by this time. This is, you know, the discipline that you've built in yourself, I think, and just being a YouTuber and generally just being a creator, it comes across.
Yeah, because you gotta have the discipline. I mean, it would be. I've thought about this a bunch, honestly, because, you know, I my whole first gap year, I meant to spend it on traveling, but, you know, the COVID and. Actually, I spent the first 6 months just working and like having 10 different jobs and just whatever, you know. And then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna travel in the spring, and I didn't travel in the spring, so I'm like, but now I'm planning to go travel and like, honestly, it's not because, and it does not feel like I don't know what would you say, like restraining or anything.
Yeah.
But, you know, I have the channel. So I couldn't just go away to India and like with a backpack and zero Wi-Fi for 3 months. And that's not because I want to go to India. And I honestly, in some way, I don't feel bad about it. You know, I feel honestly pretty good about it because I do want to upload once a week. It feels so good. Like, you know, it's the same with going training. You know, you feel terrible when you walk in the gym. You're like, fuck. I'm not kidding.
So
oh my
true.
God, I'm feeling so sore, and it's almost like if you're at work all day and you know you're going to the gym afterwards. It's almost as if your body just starts feeling worse and worse and worse when you're at work than it would on a normal day, because you know you're going to the gym. You know you're gonna beat up your body, and like, I know I'm gonna make my videos, but I in no way at all, I don't feel like I have to do it in a bad way. It's like, I wouldn't go to India for 3 months with a backpack and zero Wi-Fi because I just love uploading and I love making my videos. Like, it's
in the same, it's the same as, like, some people love to sit and watch TV. Some people like to play football in their spare time. Some people like to like, whatever you choose to, you know, put your, whether you call it hobby, whether it becomes monetizable as a job, like whatever you want to put your time towards, because that's where it started with me. I would work and then I'd come home and then I'd make football content. That's what I first started doing, and that was years ago, and that's what I did as my equivalent to sitting and watching TV for a few hours. You know what I mean? That was my kind of escape.
Yeah.
And I suppose, like, with music, because you love it so much as well, that's clearly a real, like, ingrained passion in you, because you said your mum plays is that where that came from then? Your parents kind of got you playing instruments as a kid? How did that kind of start?
Yeah, man, I was, you could say, forced. I mean, I was just told to play the piano when I was 7, but that's, you know, classic. I mean, I understand it because it gives so much energy and so much, like, meaning playing an instrument. And, like, I'm gonna totally encourage my kids to do so as well. Like 100%, they're gonna play the piano, and like, if I can't force them to, I'm just gonna try to inspire them to, like, whatever, you know.
Definitely.
I feel that's really, really a good idea. My little brother, he plays guitar as well, and other instruments. He's actually just like me. He produces music. He sings. And he's really, really talented. And I think that is my mom's credit. Like, she got me to play the piano, and, like, you know, there were years where I hated it, you know. Like in 7th or 8th grade, like, I had to play concerts at, like, the music school, and I was just like, oh my God, why can't I just go and chill with my friends? I have to go home and practice for an hour. No. But it pays off, you know. And like yeah, like, the whole music thing, I credits to my mom. She's the true passion behind that.
She's the true reason SIM DANE exists.
Actually, yes. I
shout
mean,
out.
in 2 ways, but basically.
One in the more obvious than the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. What I love as well is that we've got this far into the podcast and we've not even talked really about Formula One at all. Like, we've talked about the music, but we've not actually talked about. So I want to ask, well, what take away Sim Dane and all the music, just as an F1 fan, who do you support? All that kind of stuff. What's your vibe at the moment with Formula One?
So like the whole vibe has actually, it's turned more into like jokes because 2020 has just been it's honestly been a joke year.
Yeah.
Like who's not making fun of who? Like last year everything was a bit more serious, but like even the drivers, like Lando Norris, he's really just come out of his cave.
Yeah.
You know, he's on every post, like at all on Instagram. He's everywhere. And like all the drivers have just basically become memes of themselves, and like, I mean, there are only a few drivers who are not really just taking the piss.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know, because it always varies a bit. But you know, I've been a long-time Vettel fan, and yeah, man, I really hope he does well. You know, it's honestly painful 2020. When you're a Vettel fan, but yeah, I also support K-Mac because he's Danish, and hope for him to, I don't know what else he can prove, because
he's very underrated.
Stuck at Haas.
He's very underrated, I think. K-Mag's definitely good enough to be in a better seat than that, I feel.
Word, man, and yeah, I'm a Verstappen fan. I gotta say, like. Because I started out by I couldn't stand him at all. And that was even in 2018. I was just like, no, man, this guy is
really?
Yeah, even 2018. And then like towards the end of 2018, I was like, man, you know what? Because, you know, you have these friendships, you know, where you start out actually by just like despising the other guy. It's like, oh my God, this guy, man, he's getting on my nerves. And it's like always. But then suddenly you're like, it just clicks, and I felt like it did that with Verstappen. So those two, and then I really hope, like, could Russell ever get out of that Williams? I support Russell big time.
Yeah, like, I think it's gonna happen eventually.
Sainz, I also really support Sainz.
Yeah,
and I did that before it was cool.
OG. Yeah. So what do you make of Vettel's, as a Vettel fan? What do you make of his struggles recently? Like, how much of that do you think's him? How much of that do you think's the car? What do you make of the move to Aston Martin? Are you happy about it? Do you think it would be good for him?
I think it's a mix, man. I think like he's not up to par lately. Like the whole 2020 season, like, and I don't buy that they don't have the same car. Like sometimes they may not have the same setups, or one may be favored on strategy, sure, but I don't buy that. I think he's just not suited to drive that car. Like the SF1000 it's a difficult car to drive. Like it's obvious with Charles as well.
Definitely.
But I think Vettel's really challenged also morally, because you know and it's always like that, like everywhere, and especially like in high pressure stuff, which F1 really is. I think when you're not completely motivated to really just prove everything, you're not going to prove everything. And Charles wants to prove everything because he has a new teammate next year. He wants to be number one, and he's
at the start of his career,
like always. Exactly, start of his career, and from his Formula 2 days, like he's always really fought for it. And no matter what, he's really motivated. And I think Vettel, he's been at Ferrari for 5 years. He's gotten tired of it, I think, and that just goes for the performance as well. I mean, if you're tired of the team, if you're tired of the car, if you're tired of the engineers, I mean, tired of the strategies, for some reason, maybe.
Can't blame him.
But I think the performance goes down when you don't, and when you don't have like
confidence, I think,
any goals, because like he used to win for Ferrari. It used to be like within reach, and now it's completely without reach. So he's moving to Aston Martin. He knows he's safe. Like he has even less to prove now.
I was going to say, do you think that's a good move for him? Like, are you quite excited to see how that goes, or do you think maybe another move would have been better for him?
I think it's the best move he could have possibly done. Like,
I agree.
Sure, man.
I agree,
no room
definitely.
at Red Bull.
Yeah.
And Mercedes, that'd be a mess. And like those two teams would be the other two candidates. I'd
Mm.
never love to see him go to Haas. Like, nah, he wouldn't like the structure there, and Alpha too. I think like that'd just be a Kimi move, you know.
Yeah,
And it
definitely.
hasn't looked like it has made Kimi any happier. Like
Nah.
he seems pretty pretty bored
I mean,
at the
he
moment.
lives right next to the factory, Kimmy. He can just rock up
Yeah.
every week. Like, yeah, you can tell.
Exactly.
Like, I don't
It's
think we'll
more
see
just
Kimi
of a
again
hobby
next
for
year.
him. You know.
Yeah, he literally. And where did your? Well, yeah, he did. And where did your like where did your love for like when did you get on board with F1? Like when did you first start watching it? When did that start for you?
Oh well, it has been like on and off, like since I was a kid, like since I was a tiny kid.
What's your like earliest
just-
memory? Like what era or like what driver?
That was like 2005, I think, when my parents brought me home. Because I had been like, I'd loved F1 cars
yeah.
like for a year or two or so, like just really it just stuck with me. And then my parents brought me a Ferrari jacket when they were in I don't remember where they were, Hungary or something.
Yeah.
And then they bought me a Ferrari jacket, and from there on I was like, yeah, Ferrari kid. And I was always wearing my Ferrari jacket. I think I wore it straight every day for 2 years.
Nice.
And then I was really interested, and then it kind of went away.
Mm.
You know, I went to school, and things were just pretty everyday. In public school, and then in 2013, my dad took me to the Spanish Grand Prix, which Alonso won,
Mhm.
and I had liked Alonso a lot for some years, and then seeing Alonso win just kind of reignited the spark.
Yeah.
And from then on, it just grew quietly until like I don't know, 9th grade,
Mm.
10th grade, where I just like, yeah, I'm actually in love with this sport, and I started following more closely.
Yeah. So what do you make of Fernando's return? Are you happy?
Ah man, I can't get that hyped about it. Honestly, I think of course it's nice. He's coming back, the good old Fernando.
Yeah.
But what is he? 40?
He will be 40 when he starts. Yeah.
Man, and that's crazy, man. And of course, as a Dane as well, we have this driver Christian Lundgaard in the Renault Driver Academy, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
but bro, you're 40. And this kid is like really looking for a
Rapid.
seat.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like mixed feelings,
Mm.
but I'm really excited to see if he still has it.
Definitely.
And he's gonna be with Arcon. Is it
the
confirmed?
Alpine. Yeah.
I'm
'cause
stoked
Ocon's
for
got
that. I'm stoked for Alpine.
Yeah. It'd be cool to see,
But-
man. Yeah, because Ocon's got his contract still. Obviously, we know from the Perez situation that doesn't actually mean anything. But he has got a contract till the end of next year, so it will be, as far as I'm aware, Alonso,
Most
Ocon,
likely.
Alpine.
And I couldn't help but think like when they changed names to Alpine, that's because Alpine is because Renault just doesn't want their name on an
Yeah.
embarrassment anymore.
But also, it kind of now makes more sense, I feel, why they went with Alonso, because they want more eyes on this new Alpine brand. Well,
Yeah.
it's not a new brand, but you know what I mean. Like that, having Fernando is only going to draw more attention towards Alpine.
I agree. I think it's just like the Aston Martin situation.
Yeah.
Like you have a
Precisely,
new team
yeah.
basically that's going to be fighting for wins.
Yeah.
That's what they say at least. And then you want like a true development driver, like in the car, like a driver who just knows how to build a good car,
Knows how
who's
to
been
win.
a world champion.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like the experience, like you said before, man, like just having your own body and mind in it just gives such a different view. And a junior driver couldn't do that.
Definitely not.
Like honestly, there's a reason why Sauber struggled for so many years. Like they've just been a junior team. And
Yeah.
I think that goes for every team. Like if you really are like a junior team, you'll have problems developing a really, really good car.
Definitely, you need the best of both worlds. Because I saw a lot of people saying, because obviously you've got Eilert, Schumacher, Schwartzman, all kind of doing bits in F2, and then some people saying that both the Alfa Romeo seats should be one of each. But I'm just like, yeah, but then you've got no experience. You need a steady pair of hands for that young driver to learn from. And Lundgaard as well. Like, it feels like there's a lot of talent coming through now. And
Well, yeah, word, man. There's so many good juniors, man.
it's crazy.
It's incredible. And so many speculations. Like, I've never seen this before.
Yeah. I hope that the new rules bring a couple more teams in, because then we'll have 4 more seats, right?
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be so good, man. Like, you could only hope. It just seemed like F1 has just lost teams in the past
It's crazy.
10 years.
But
You know?
there you go, man. Well, I'll tell you what. We've talked for... This has been a lovely little chat, mate. It's just flown. I think
You too, man.
Talked for about hour 15. We haven't even gotten to my quickfire round yet, so I feel like we should jump into that now, mate.
Sure.
So again, for anyone who hasn't watched before, I always have quickfire questions. I've sometimes catered them slightly to the guest, and today we have Emil. So, are you ready, SIM DANE, for the quickfire
Yes.
round? He's
Tom,
ready. Oh wait, was that your English accent? What the hell was that?
Nah. Bro, that's my weakest accent. That's British, man. Like English. Like that's like I could do any other accent, but I just can't do that.
There's so many different.
Not properly.
There's so many different British accents as well. If you're,
I know it changes. Like what is it? Every 40 kilometers.
it's ridiculous. Yeah,
Like there's a new.
it's a stupid country.
I mean, it's no wonder it's difficult to learn, man.
Actually, what's your favourite accent? That's the first quickfire question. What's your favourite accent?
Like of my own, international.
Yeah, internationally. Yeah,
Russian.
Russian. Nice. I like it. So Russian Grand Prix. I'm looking forward to what you got to come up with.
Günther, man.
Oh yeah, Gunther. Actually, Josh Revel does an amazing Gunther Steiner impression. I don't know if you've heard it.
Can he come on my song?
Oh mate,
I'll ask him.
if you, I'll DM him for you, or you message him. Like definitely, he does an amazing Gunther. That's actually such a shout. I love that.
Shit, you should do a feature on one of my
Yes,
songs.
that's actually a sick idea.
He usually always features just with facts. Like
Yeah.
this circuit was used for this and that. But this time he's gonna feature with rap, man.
I like it.
He's spitting some bars.
He'll love that. He'll love that. Right, Emma, what's your favourite Danish snack?
Oh, what did I have lately? This is so difficult because there's so many. I eat the snüffler. It's called snüffler, and
Describe.
I have them in my fridge.
Okay.
I could bring them. Take 10 seconds.
Yeah, go on.
I'll show you.
Go. Bring me a sniffler, whatever that is.
Here we are.
Love it.
With the snüffler, and I'm gonna show you.
Oh, mate.
They look like this.
Look at that. Ooh.
And I can't imagine anyone not being afraid to eat one of these because they look totally disgusting.
So what's inside? What?
So this is, and you won't believe it, they call it like bakery trash. Because this is like everything that's left on the table after a long day of baking.
Yeah.
And then they throw it to the blender,
Yep.
add sugar,
Yep.
then, I don't know, mash them?
Yep.
I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
I eat them like without any criticism. And it's like one of these little boys.
Nice. Yeah.
And I can't describe the taste. It tastes somewhat fruity, somewhat chocolatey, somewhat
Nice.
doughy.
Yeah.
just-
It's good.
It's amazing.
See, this is true dedication. I've asked everyone
Bro.
about food, but no one's
Hey.
actually bought a food stuff on, so I love this.
How much does it cost to send one of these to? It costs like, I don't know,
I mean,
£5?
a bit more, probably.
Whatever,
Probably with Brexit, costs a bit
Bro,
more now.
I'll send you one of these over.
Yes.
One sec. I will.
I'd say,
You've done the AlphaTauri merge.
yeah,
You've done you've done many tests.
husky chocolate.
You'll be trying these snuffler.
I love it. I'll make a video on it. Everyone will be like, "What is this?" It's like, well, you have to watch about an hour and 20 minutes into my podcast with SIM DANE to actually understand why. It'll get like 10 views, but it's worth it. Love it, mate. Love it. And you're fed as well, so it's great. It just everything wins. Right. What is your favourite TV show at the moment?
Ooh, it's between The Office and Family Guy.
Which office?
The Office.
The UK office.
No, oh, I'm sorry. The US Office.
See, distinction there, mate. Got that. That's the. I love both, so fair play. Okay.
It's
fair.
bro. It's credit to Steve Carell. I used to like just every evening go and watch some TV with my mom, but I watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah, same.
Like when I have time. When I have time, I just go on YouTube because I mean, YouTube is really getting more and more into these longer videos.
Yeah.
Like, there's actually a big market for longer videos. Like, also longer entertainment videos.
Well, actually, that leads on to a question in this quick fire round. Who is your favourite non-F1 YouTuber?
Ooh. I like, Davey 504, the bass player.
I
No one
don't.
goes.
I don't.
Check him out, man. But he's not small no more, man. He has like 8 million subs.
Oh
or
wow,
something.
really?
It's incredible, and he just plays the bass, and he goes, what does he go? Hello, slappers. What's up?
Davey 50. Hang on, I'm just gonna Google this. Davey 504. I mean,
Some Italian dude.
okay, there we go. I play bass. See, because I love Seth Everman. I think he's hilarious.
Ooh,
Like-
yes, bro. Seth Everman is amazing.
He's an absolute G.
You can never remember these things. What is on my YouTube feed?
Yeah, go on. Have a little look. What's on your or if you go on your YouTube homepage, who's popping up a lot?
Oh, well, the first one is your video,
Oh,
the
stop
Crofty
it.
video.
Stop it.
It's true.
Stop
It's
it.
true.
He's lying. You're lying.
I'll screenshot this. I'll send you this. Bro, it's got to be some meme pages. I can never
Yeah.
remember the names of the meme pages.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of memes,
No,
like different 5-second memes. All those.
yeah.
I have like a bunch of playlists where it's like 500 videos of just
Yeah.
1 second, 2 second, 3 second videos, and I have a ad blocker, so I can just run through the playlist
Decent.
and enjoy it.
I hope you turn that off when you watch my stuff.
I do. Because no, but I actually have this option. I'm using it now. I can choose which ads I want to see, and like some channels I have this on yours and on Daka. It's called Brave, the browser.
Really?
Actually, yes, because then
That's
you can
mad.
choose if there's people you want to give rewards, and then you give them
Yeah.
rewards. Then you just turn on ads, and
There
then
you
you see
go.
ads for certain, because you don't need it for most channels.
Yeah.
But then some channels I put them on, and like I have these channels where I just put them on, but it's not sustainable if the videos are like 3 seconds long.
No, I can imagine. Actually, no. Granted, that would what 10 times, because no ad is less than, even if you can skip now, it's at like 5 seconds minimum. But anyway, I always do this with a quickfire round. I'm like quickfire, and then we just end up chatting loads. So I apologise.
It's terrible. I'm gonna keep it one
No,
sentence.
it's my fault as well. I just like waffling.
All right,
too much.
quickfire.
All right,
Actual quickfire.
Emil, what's your favourite road car of all time?
F40.
Oh, nice. Decent. I like that. Straight to the point. He's good. Favourite musical band or artist of all time?
Dire Straits.
Oh, I'm surprised you were straight in there. Dire Straits, decent. We've got to talk about this subject a bit more. Who else? I know you mentioned you like Kanye. What other particular bands or artists are up there for you?
Oh yeah, man. So of course you could hear that in my raps. Eminem has been a big inspiration, man. And you could like we could make like a semi top 5.
Yeah.
I'd probably leave someone out I didn't want to leave out.
That's that.
But like there's a Danish band called Flake with PH. So PH Lake Flake.
I'm googling that.
They're really sick. And then The Weeknd,
Mm-hmm.
Eminem, Dire Straits, and Chris Rea. Do you know Chris Rea?
Yep.
The one who did the guy who did the Driving Home for Christmas song. But like his whole discography is just like, I'm in love with the sound that guy has. Like he plays slide guitar, and it's just like his whole style, his voice. And Leonard Cohen too is major inspiration.
I love that. You definitely seem to have a very like broad appreciation of different genres and tastes, which I think is really important for anyone, whatever they do, to take in everything. But particularly with music, because you've got there's such a variety, isn't there? There's such kind of stark contrast, but you can kind of take from that. So
Thanks, man.
it's amazing. Unfortunately, everything's gone wrong now. You found yourself on death row.
Yeah, Death Roll.
Death row.
Rockin' Death Roll.
Death row. You're on death row for crimes towards memes and music. What is your final meal of your life on death row? What are you eating before you pop your clogs?
Okay, I'm having a I'm having a steak, a good steak, no sauce, just some pepper on it,
How's it cooked?
medium rare.
Good lad. Good lad.
And what else? I would have sweet potato fries,
Ooh.
and
That's good. That's good.
and then I think I'd just keep it simple like that. And then for dessert, I'd have creme brulee,
Ooh. Sophisticated. I like that.
maybe some ice cream, man.
Okay.
Like ice cream. Dang, that's
What flavour? What are we talking? Come on.
ooh.
Divulge.
Some stracciatella that's not actually just like the regular one,
Yeah.
but where it's like vanilla with like true chocolate
Yeah.
in it,
Decent.
and like really good chocolate,
Very nice.
chunky.
Nice. Emil, what is your favourite place in the world?
Yeah, man. So I was just in Hamburg.
You
For a
were.
week?
I saw that on Instagram.
That was sick. So anywhere I'd like to go back to right now, that'd be Hamburg.
Really?
But
Nice.
my favorite place is probably like New Zealand, the Southern Island, and
Beautiful.
somewhere in New England in
Oh, nice.
in the States. I was there for
Nice.
fall vacation once. It was just amazing.
Nice.
Or New York. New York. I love New York.
It was cool.
Difficult to choose, honestly, because it's so different. Like the whole, it's like it seems like there's a bit of nature from everywhere in the world. In New Zealand.
Literally.
Like you could go from like a pine forest to like a tropical forest to like a beach,
Yeah.
and then
It's
I don't know,
crazy.
rocks, mountains, just whatever. It's just incredible, and no dangerous animals. Like there's not a single dangerous animal.
It's true. It's true. It's not like Australia. Because to be fair,
Exactly.
if you include Australia, then you get all of that in New Zealand. Plus, you get like the rainforest and the like desert in Australia. You've pretty much got every single climate covered in those two countries. But
And you got every single dangerous animal in that country.
just in Australia, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, next one: cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Nice. Any particular type, breed?
Ooh, I had a we had a border collie,
Mm.
so maybe something like that. But I
Oh.
like Milton, man.
Minton, not Milton.
Oh, what am I doing? Milton? What?
I'm leaving that in.
I'm sorry, man.
You're gonna get
Minton.
sussed. Shall I see if he'll? Shall I go grab him? Do you want to see him?
I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him sorry, man.
You will. Tell him to his face.
Yeah.
Minton. He's been asleep. Who's that? Woohoo.
Hello, boy. Hey, Minton. I'm sorry, man.
Next question: tea or coffee?
Coffee. No doubt.
Like it. Did you drink a lot of coffee? Are you a coffee man or?
No, you know what? It's actually quite complicated because coffee is bad for your voice, and tea is pretty okay for your
Oh,
voice.
really? Interesting.
So, because coffee dries out your throat. So like if I drank a lot of coffee before I sang a song,
yeah,
I would sing like when I was singing.
that's crazy.
So I try to drink more tea than coffee,
Yeah,
but I can't go a morning without coffee.
fair.
If I'm drinking my regular coffee, it's just, I don't know, an espresso, black,
Yeah,
whatever.
fair enough.
But I can truly enjoy a coffee, like if it's a well-made cappuccino. Just
Decent.
nice. Well and foamy. It's like almost you can bite into the
Yeah,
foam. It's
yeah.
like, that is nice.
Decent. Well, talking to drink, the last question in the quickfire round: what is your alcoholic beverage of choice? If you want a bit of booze.
Gin and tonic, I think. I like drinks more than I like beers.
Yeah. What's your ideal idea of like? Do you go to a pub, a club? Do you like getting out on the dance floor? Like, what's your kind of vibe?
Yeah, man. I think this varies so much because I do so much of either. Like, but I think if I describe the perfect night, we'd start at home
Mm-hmm.
with the GT.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go to a bar
Mhm.
or a pub, and we'd have a beer and play some cards, and then and that would be like the warm up, and then
Yeah.
a private party. Private parties, man,
Nice.
and that's nice because the dance floor at private parties is people you know, so you're not
Yeah.
afraid to embarrass yourself. You just screw around. You do your weird moves. You do your just looking weird, and you can afford to get pissed. Like
Yeah.
just if you fall asleep in their couch, just whatever. No.
It's fine, yeah. Ah, sounds like a good night, mate. I'll hit you up next time I'm in Denmark.
Hey, oh
And-
yeah, you want to know something?
Go on.
There was this crazy idea that a person I worked with had a while ago to take these,
Yeah. The third
blend
appearance.
them, and blend them with vodka and make an actual snuffler. What is it called? Snuffler shot. And then you just have shots of this
Yeah.
with vodka in it, and they'd be so alcoholic, but they taste exactly like cake.
I mean, that's genius. That's
It was the best thing ever. We're thinking of starting a shop with this.
oh.
I'm sure Danes would buy this. Like, buy the snuffler shot.
So how would it be like a thick liquid, or would you like melt it
Yeah.
down, or would it be hot? Would it be?
It would be kind of thick.
Ah.
I mean, it's not like we're professional or anything. So
I'm just picking it apart now. Come on, I want to know exactly what.
yes,
It is.
it's a pretty thick liquid.
Decent.
So it's like you drink the shot, and then there'd still be like a tiny bit left
I love that.
because it all wouldn't flow out when you.
Yeah. That sounds fun. Well, get them ready. Then when I come to Denmark, we'll have some snuffle
Yeah,
shots,
man.
man. I'll be bang up for that. But there we go, mate. Well, listen, I've got a few more questions. I always have these questions at the end. So again, thank
All
you
right.
for taking the time, mate. I do appreciate it because we've had a.
You too, man.
It's a great little
And thanks
chat.
for texting me, man.
Of course, man. It's been a great little chat. But
An
anyway.
honor, actually.
Ah, stop it. You're
No,
far too
bro,
bad.
I've been following your channel for like longer than you think. Like since
Thank you,
the
man.
first like 5 videos, I think.
It's been a wild ride, but thank you, man. I appreciate the love. But anyway, right, come on. Emil, you're in charge. You are, well, I would say Chase Carey. You're Emil Carey with the moustache, but it sounds like he's being replaced, so you're Emil Domenicali. What would be if you had the power to change one rule in Formula One, what would you change? With the race, it could be do with like the surround of it. It could be do with anything in F1, but just one thing that you think you would change.
I like the idea of blue flags being removed. So I'd probably remove blue flags.
Really interesting. I like that. Well, so what's your kind of thought process for that?
So I saw this post from Russell about it,
Yeah.
and I kind of agree with him, and I can't ignore it because he's like, yeah, it'll be even more. What was his argument? He's like, he wouldn't like blue flags, but I think the fact that any back marker can just annoy any front runner would just make for just a slight bit more entertainment in like races that are so boring where the leaders are just lapping everyone.
Yeah.
Because like if a Mercedes is coming up to lap a McLaren or a Red Bull, I mean they'll have sort of similar pace, or I mean at least the one in front will.
Yeah.
So it could be pretty fun to see if any. I mean,
I think that's a good idea, actually. I've never really thought about that, but anything to increase the entertainment spectacle,
exactly.
I'm game for.
Because I mean, they try to remove so much downforce and do whatever to
Yeah.
improve the racing, and I think DRS is doing a pretty good job, at least for getting the
For the
overtake
moment.
count up. I mean, they tried so many different things, like one-shot qualifying. Just what else did they have? They had the most ridiculous rules. Like
Yeah.
Bernie tried so many different things,
Mm.
and worth a shot.
Worth a shot, mate. I agree. And then in terms of the future of the sport, because obviously Formula E, you've got Extreme E, you've got a lot more like the electric is coming. I think we all know
Yeah.
it is coming. How do you see the sport changing over the next 10, 20, 30 years? Like, what do you think it's going to have to do? How do you think realistically in your mind it will change?
I think, yeah, man, at some point it will go full electric, and I
Do you reckon?
I think at some point, like we're talking probably 30 years, because I think it would be so difficult to take away the sound from the fans. But I think at some point they'll switch to V-Force, like they do in Le Mans, or what is it called, the endurance
In WEC,
championship.
yeah.
And those V-Force, they are pretty efficient, man. Like so many horsepower, and I think the hybrid will play a bigger part. But it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say because at the moment it seems like F1 is growing because it's getting more and more accessible.
Yeah.
And I think that's the right way to go. Like also from Liberty, I think they've done a good job, man. Like
Yeah, I agree.
at least for now. And if it keeps up like that, then it'll be difficult to like properly change like key features of the sport. But we'll see. Like if you're trying to get into some sport and you're really aware of the climate, you probably won't like the fact that it's like motorsports, and then everything around it revolves around transport and whatever by plane, and so they'll probably try to improve on that first.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you've got this like the phase it's in at the moment where, so for example, with like Formula E, yes, they're all electric cars, but it's still a series that flies all around the world.
Yeah, man, and that's kind of weird, man. And like, I can't help but like just feel like that's a bit hypocritical, like cause so many fans are like, we're really we want completely sustainable motorsports, and in Switzerland they had like this rule that forbid motorsports anywhere, and they altered it a slight bit so Formula E could race in their country, but they still don't want Formula 1 or no other like combustion based motorsports. And that's like, but what if they went there by train and it was the same carbon footprint? Or what if it was just karting championships? I mean, I doubt they fly everywhere if it's European,
Yeah. It is difficult. You've got that. Yeah, I think where it's going through this like transitional phase now, you have got the more like, again, people look at Formula E as being super sustainable. Actually, the footprint of the actual cars racing relative to the footprint of everything that goes on behind it is relatively tiny. So it's like,
and I thought so much about this because these cars, man, they run at like pretty high. What's it called? I mean, they run really high performance, like pretty much all throughout the race, and they only use 100 liters of fuel for plus 300.
And that fuel it's heavily like bioethanol. It's like it's not as fossil fuel as the fuel you just stick in your car. It is a much more sustainable fuel than the typical fuels anyway.
These cars, I think they use less fuel than my old car did when I was full throttling. They use less fuel, man. It's just like, and they make 1,000 horsepower. That's pretty impressive, man.
It's crazy.
So they really, I mean, that it'd be like driving 300k in another car, and if 20 people like at full throttle, like down the autobahn, and if 20 people did that, I mean, that's, you can look through fingers with that. I mean, that's not too bad.
Either way, we know it's going to change a lot. But anyway, final question. Emil, SIM DANE, again, thank you for taking the time, mate. Final question, the most important one. What is your favourite livery of the 2020 season?
Ooh, mate.
Come on.
Difficult.
You know I love a livery, so I've got to stick this one on the end. Now we've had a bit of time to see them, like mine was the Haas at the start of the year. Now it's probably the Renault, but I still love the Haas, but I think the Renault is probably my favourite. Now you've had time to kind of warm to them. What do you think?
All right, I gotta just think for a sec. Cause like I have this, I really liked the 2018 Renault. That was like probably my favorite Renault. And
that's nice.
I think Ferrari should have stuck with the white that they had on 2017 and 2018. That was beautiful. But yeah, man, I think I'm gonna go for the one everyone's picking, the AlphaTauri. I think that's grown on me, man.
You had to spoil. You had to ruin it at the end, didn't you?
I didn't like it that much in the beginning of the year. Actually, in the beginning of the year, the Williams was one of my favorites.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, actually, I really like that. I really like that as well. The toothpaste livery.
Yeah. Because that's, I think people may like. Of course, it's toothpaste. It's cool. It's funky.
Yeah.
It looked dope.
Agree.
I don't know. I think it's difficult. I'm not really fond of any of the 2020 liveries.
Do you have like a favorite of all time?
Yes. So that would be the 2013 McLaren, or yeah, man. I think the 2017 Ferrari will also be up there, along with. This is coming. The Jordan 191.
Nice. Yeah, of course. Come on. It has to be.
Yes. And with the triple spoiler, I think, man, that car is
cool,
incredible.
Man. That is cool, man. Lovely. Well, there we go, mate. I think we're done. That's
Yes,
that's a good
man.
hour and probably over an hour and a half though. So that's
An hour and 45, man. That's a
decent
pretty
length,
pretty
mate.
long stream.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yes, absolutely, man. It's been an honor. It's been such a cool chat, man. You're such a cool guy.
Oh, you too, man. It's been a pleasure. We're definitely like,
Yeah, man.
like I've never had a chat with like someone I haven't got along with on this, and you know, I could definitely see us having a drink someday, one day.
Sure, man.
We'll get
And
to
you're
a
in
race.
Denmark.
Oh, mate,
Like, I'm
definitely.
right next to Copenhagen, man.
Nice.
It's like right when where you land. Otherwise, we'll have one in the airport.
There you go.
Okay?
No excuse.
No excuses, man.
But yeah, thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for taking the time. I do really appreciate it. Obviously, I'll link
You
to
too, man.
everything you're doing. Obviously, if you haven't heard of SIM DANE, well, now you have,
Man,
because you've
thanks.
just watched this hour 45 podcast. To all your YouTube stuff, maybe let me know all your personal stuff as well. I'll link all that in the description as well, so people can't miss it.
Thanks, man.
And yeah, it's been a pleasure, mate. So have a good
You
day.
too.
And good luck to get. Well, you're definitely going to beat me to 100k, so I won't even try and fight that battle.
Bro, we don't know. We don't know, because you could have a viral video like that. Honestly,
Come
I
on,
hope
Crofty.
I hope you'll beat me. I hope you'll beat me, man. Like,
Well, either way,
honestly.
we should do like a joint picture with both of our plaques when we get them. That would be fun.
Yes, man. Sure.
Yeah, man. Have a good day. We're done. Finished. Boom.
Yes, man. Have a great day, Tomo.
Oh.
Good talking to you, man.